Obviously, higher taxes can't be the sole answer. Can you talk about the steps the city is taking to enhance, the other steps the city is taking to enhance the city's future?
Sure. That's one of the things that I enjoy speaking about. We have an aggressive economic development effort with the city and through our partnership with Xenia Economic Growth Corporation, where we are actively working with our local businesses to help them retain jobs and expand. And we're also actively recruiting new businesses to come into our community. Some of the things that we've done in the past years are things like working to make sure that the opportunities are available for companies, making sure that we have land available, making sure that with the land that's available, that there's infrastructure, water, sewer, streets, electric, gas, internet, making sure that we are in a position that when we have companies that want to locate here in Xenia, that we have opportunities for them. We do programs like the Enterprise Zone program, where we work with the state of Ohio to provide reductions in taxes for companies that locate here in town. We have taken advantage of the state job tax credit for communities. One of the things that we have and that's available here in town now is the Rural Enterprise Zone program. We've never been allowed to use that in the past. In the past year, we've done things like work to clean up the Hooven and Allison site. The city's gone out and aggressively pursued grants so that we can get that site cleaned up first, and second, put back into operation. We've worked with partners such as Greene County to make sure that we're all on the same page, to make sure that we are all working hard to try to bring opportunities to the area. That's on the industrial side. On the retail side, we have completed a program with a company that profiled the city of Xenia, profiled the folks that shop in the city of Xenia, not just our citizens, but anybody within a 15-mile drive time. And this company has profiles of 2,500 businesses within their database, and we look to see which companies were a good fit for our community. First. Second, what's needed in our community. Women's clothing, shoe stores, other things that we don't have, opportunities that we don't have in our community. We are aggressively pursuing those to try to bring those companies to our town. One, to provide a service that's not here, and two, to provide opportunities for employment, opportunities for growth in our community. So we're working on both the industrial, commercial, and retail side to provide opportunities for people in the community.
This question is for all three of you. How do Xenia employee wages and benefits compare to other comparable cities' wages and benefits?
The city works with our labor groups, and when we are in negotiations, the State Employee Relations Board provides us with comparable data that we utilize in negotiations. And we can factually state that we are not in the top, nor are we at the bottom. Pretty much we've been historically in the middle of pay ranges. What I can factually state also is that when the crisis that we are facing was thrust upon us in September, our firefighters are currently working at an 8% pay reduction from what they had negotiated. So they have taken that upon themselves to offset, or at least to hold off until a decision is made by the citizens of this community as to this tax issue. And so we are working at an 8% reduction.
And it's very similar with the police department. The unions here involved in those negotiations recognize the problem we have. Their wages and benefits in general are just like the fire departments. We're nowhere near the top, and generally we're below the midline in terms of what the wages are. And that's especially been true the last 2 years because, again, we had not negotiated a contract when the current crisis really came to fruition, and we realized we needed to make some severe cuts. But in both the police and fire department's case, the fire department would have lost 6 people, we would have lost 6 people, and in both cases the union stepped up and made a decision. The police unions took no increase in 2009, that they're taking no increase in 2010. We did some other things in terms of paying for the DARE officer temporarily. We could take care of his out of some drug funds that we normally can't do that with, but we were able to do it for 1 year. And we were able to cover those costs and keep these people through 2010. Without something changes, we're going to have no options but to eliminate those positions at the end of 2010. So we're thankful that the unions recognize the problem, they work in partnership with us, and that they stepped up in this case.
In fact, all of our employees took either a zero increase or a pay decrease this past year. None of the employees of the city of Xenia got a cost of living increase, if you will, for 2010. That being said, the majority of our employees fall at the average or below the average of what employees, public sector employees in the area make. A couple of years ago, we completed a comprehensive compensation plan. One of the things that part of that plan was, where do you want your people to fall in the average of all of these communities that are similar to the city of Xenia? We didn't jump out and say we want all of our employees to be the highest paid of all of our comparable cities. That's not what we did. That's never what we do. But we do want our employees to be fairly compensated. That means we want the folks to be somewhere around the middle of the pack. But for the past 2 years, the non-union employees have not received any increases. And for these past few months and going on into the future, all of our employees have taken a 0% or, as Chief Leeming said, a reduction in pay. And I think it shows that the folks are dedicated to the community, are dedicated to providing services to the community, and want to make sure that we give the citizens an opportunity to say, yes, we want the same services that we are receiving today. We want high-quality fire and paramedic services. We want high-quality police services. We want our streets fixed. That was one of the things that we heard very plainly in the survey that was completed by Wright State University, that those are the things that people want to make sure that we maintain, and that's why we're bringing forward this request at this time.
Jim, the city has received some awards for operations and even from the state auditor's office. Can you tell us about those?
Sure. One of the things that questions that we get all the time is, well, how do we know that the city's using our money wisely? How do we know that we aren't wasting dollars? Well, one of the things that we received last year, and this was the finance department and those folks, the state auditor's office came in and looked at how we are spending those dollars and said, out of all the cities in the state of Ohio, you folks are spending your tax dollars wisely. I think there were 5% of all the cities in the state that received this award, and we were one of those cities where they came in and said, you guys do a great job, you spend the money well, and you provide a high-quality service. And I think that's critical. The other question that we get is, well, how do we know that all the money's going where it's supposed to go? We do a CAFR report every year that comes in and audits the city's books and says how the money is being spent. For the past over 20 years, we have received an award that says you guys are spending the money right, and you're accounting for it correctly, and your report is appropriate and is being done in accordance with the standard accounting procedures. So anybody that would like to have a copy of that report, anybody that would like to have the report for 2008, the 2009 report's being worked on right now. I believe it'll be completed sometime in June. Call us, call the finance department, and we will be more than happy to provide you a copy of the CAFR report so that you can go through it and see where the money goes and understand how it's being spent.